Hello guys, welcome back once again to Pig Farming Academy. I'm so glad to have you back. I'm sure that by now you must have watched the video that dropped yesterday on pig farming for beginners. Please, if you haven't done that, make sure you watch the video as it contains necessary information that will aid your journey as a pig farmer. Very necessary information. So make sure you watch it. So today I'm going to be talking about the 7 costly mistakes that most pig farmers make, or will I say most beginner pig farmers make, that can cost them a lot of losses. So make sure you stay tuned to this video. But before I continue, I would like you to do something for me. Subscribe to this amazing channel and equally turn on the notification button of this channel so that you can get more updates from us. As in next videos, I'm going to be talking about the drug routines required in your pig farms, the improvement strategies that you need to carry out in your farm to enable you reduce mortality rates and increase natality rate, because that's the sole purpose of, that's the major goal in your pig farm. For you to become a successful pig farmer, you need to derive a system whereby you can reduce the death rate and increase your birth rate. That's how you can become a successful pig farmer. So these 7 costly mistakes, I'm going to offer you solutions to them, and these solutions are not just solutions that are derived from textbooks. These are solutions that I've carried out in my pig farm with my years of experience, and I've seen how effective they are. So I'm going to offer you these solutions. So make sure you stay tuned to this video and watch to the end, and equally drop your comments on any aspect of agriculture, especially pig farming, that you find difficult. I'm always going to give you a response. Okay, so the first mistake that most pig farmers make, beginner pig farmers make, is starting too big, more than their capacity. You need to understand that there is something they call planning and stocking ratio. Before you go into pig farming, you need to understand the capacity of pigs that you can effectively raise. You need to consider the rooms, that's the farm structure, and then equally know the amount of pigs that needs to be in that particular structure. Because I've seen so many pig farmers where they get an excessive amount of pigs in an enclosed or stacked up area. That's very bad, because stacking ratio is going to determine how healthy your pigs are. Let me say in a room that should contain 10 pigs effectively, and then you now find yourself putting in 20, thinking that you will make more profit due to you want to raise more pigs. No, it's better you have 10 pigs that are well stacked in a pen growing effectively than having 30 cramped together, because that will reduce their growth rate. That can even lead to poor ventilation. Yes, when you don't stack up your pigs rightly, that can lead to poor ventilation, and then pathogens will start growing. Then from there, diseases will now start infesting your pigs. So understand that you don't have to start big in pig farming. You need to start small, then learn the business. As you progress, you can now start expanding your farm. Okay, so start small, learn the business, then expand. That is the first mistake that most pig farmers make. They start too big. Okay, when I started, I had 4 rooms. Yes, I had 4 rooms of pigs, or for my pigs. Then what I did was to start with piglets. I started with winners, 3 females and then 2 males. I remember vividly. I stayed small. Then when they farrowed, I separated them. I was now in the process of now constructing more pens. Thereby, I was not in a hurry, I was not in a rush. But when you start beyond your capacity, you always find yourself pressured, which is not a good thing. Okay, so you as a beginner pig farmer, start within your capacity. Start small. Pig farming can grow you very well. When you start small, you farrow, you see yourself scaling up, and then learning the business as you scale up. Don't follow that emotional rush of you want to have so many pigs from your first start. No, just start small, then grow. That is the first mistake. Then the second mistake that can lead to loss of your money and death of your pigs is the housing system. You see, the housing system, it's a very necessary aspect when it comes to pig farming. Your pig farm should be well ventilated. It should be well ventilated, because when your pig farms is not well ventilated, it can lead to the growth of pathogens. Like I said, when there is poor ventilation, pathogens can grow, they can incubate, and then they infest your pig farm, your pigs, and then start tarnishing them. They will start be falling sick, they will start dying off, which will now lead to loss of your money. So before you start off a pig farm, make sure that it is well ventilated. Most pig farms are normally constructed with dwarf walls to allow air flows, then sealed with gauze wires to avoid insect infestation. That's the purpose of that, is to increase the ventilation that's circulating within the area. Because when the pig farm is well ventilated, the environment will be dry. It will be dried up, like the floor will be dried up, and that helps in the health of the pig. That's the second mistake that most pig farmers make. Then when it comes to the third mistake, I would say is the feeding problem, poor feeding. In event to reduce the cost of feeding, most pig farmers tend to now under feed their pigs to quality. Yes, I understand that pig feeding can be expensive, but that doesn't mean that you have to be penny wise pound foolish. Get my point? At the same time, you need to understand that quality feeding helps your pigs to grow better. How then do I supplement, balance myself within this high cost of feeding and still getting the nice quality ration that I need? What I do is to plant some of these crops. I plant those maize, I plant those cassava, I plant those vegetables, those water leaf, the spinach, the pawpaw, name them. I have a lot of them in my farm. As you can see in the video, this is one of my farms. So I have the plantain stalk, I have the pawpaw, I have the water leaves, I have the cassava, I have the maize. So all these things help to reduce the cost of feeding my pigs. So you, as a pig farmer, I would advise you to equally go into growing some of these crops so that you can be able to increase your scale of profits. Okay, then that is all for the third mistake. Feed your pigs rightly, feed them rightly so that they will grow well. When they grow well, of course they will farrow to larger litters, they will become healthier, you make proper sales and you make your profit. Pay attention to this fourth mistake. The fourth mistake that most farmers make is in the aspect of biosecurity. Ignorance to biosecurity. They don't really care about who comes into their farm or the animals they bring into their farm. One single person, wrong person that comes into your farm with pathogens can wipe out an entire generation of pigs that you have in your farm. So before you get someone, let me say someone from a different farm coming into your farm, there are certain procedures that should be passed through. There should be a wash hand basin, a deep system where the person needs to dip their foot. That deep system should contain disinfectants that will help to kill the pathogens on the legs and equally wash them. Sometimes they wear nose masks. These things, they're not just formality sakes, they are things that are being carried out to prevent these pathogens from infesting your farm. So pay attention to biosecurity. Also, when you let me say you have your pigs already, and then you now decided to maybe buy a boa from a different farm. The first thing you have to do is to isolate it. Do not carry that boa you bought from that different farm directly into your farm. No, isolate it into a separate room for, let me say, for 1 week. It depends. In that process, you need to monitor it, disinfect, clean the body with disinfectants, inject antibiotics to check out if there are pathogens that could hinder the growth of your main stocks. before introducing them. After analyzing, after this isolation, you can now then introduce them into the main stock if they are negative. Okay, so that is the fourth mistake that most pig farmers make. I will go over to the fifth mistake. The fifth mistake most pig farmers make is no record keeping. I can assure you that 50% of pig farmers don't keep records. I don't know why they make that mistake. You need to understand that record keeping will enable you to understand the business aspect of pig rearing. Like I told you, I'm not just going to teach you how to raise pigs. I'm equally going to teach you how to understand the business aspect, the sales aspect, the marketing aspect of pig farming. For you to be able to understand this marketing aspect of pig farming, you need to make sure you keep records of all the inputs farms. So when you buy any stock, when you buy feeds, when you buy drugs, you need to have a book where you record all the inputs. That will enable you to be able to calculate and know if you are selling this particular pig for profit. Get my point? And not just selling based on guessworks and all those things. That's why you need to carry out these principles. Once you carry out these principles in order, and I assure you that you will be very, very successful in pig farming business. So have a record book where you record all these details in order, both your inputs, the feed, the drugs, the payments for staffs, everything. Record them in order. Then record your sales, the pig manure, the pigs itself, the piglets, the winners, the growers. Record your pig sales. That's necessary. Equally, in the record book also have dates of delivery. Equally have dates for drug injection, because most of the times we don't record dates for drugs injection, and that will make you to forget it. Make sure that each time you inject them with drugs, let me say monthly preventive drugs on recycling or iron extra plus for the pregnant ones, record them, record those dates. It's very necessary. Record it. It will enable you to understand the pig farming business at large. So that is the fourth principle. Okay, sorry, that is the fifth principle. So let's go over to the sixth principle, the sixth mistake. Sorry. So when it comes to the sixth mistake, it is when most pig farmers do not understand the improvement strategies that they should carry out in their farm to enable them get good results or better results. What are these improvement strategies? The first one I'm going to tell you about two, is flushing. The second one is steaming up. The third one can be routine drug maintenance. When it comes to this flushing, before you most pig farmers just randomly get their sow, they mate them to give birth. No, you as a professional pig farmer, before you cross your pig, before you service your sow, you need to flush it. Flushing is just that system of placing that particular sow that is on heat on a special diet. You are deworming it, you are flushing it, that's you are placing it on a special diet that can contain maybe a higher proportion of protein, calcium. You need to modify its meal so that it will keep its organs and hormones in order, so it can produce more ovaries. When it produces more ovaries, then when you mate it, it would accept the sperm and be able to give you strong and healthy litters, and many litters in some cases. So you need to flush your pigs, your sow, before mating them. That's one of the improvement strategies. The second one is steaming up. That one is carried out on a lactating pig to enable it to lactate, to feed the piglets very well. Because I've seen so many cases of pig farmers complaining to me that their pigs gave birth, but it hasn't been able to produce milk. This can be as a result of hormonal problems, can be as a result of this steaming up problem. You need to place those pigs that are lactating on a special diet to enable them lactate very well and feed their young ones, because that first 3 days milk is very important as it contains colostrum that helps them to build their immunity against diseases. So don't joke with it. That is the sixth principle, the sixth mistake and the solution. So let's now go over to the last one, which is the seventh mistake. Remember, I told you that I will give you 7 mistakes and solutions that I have used in my pig farm. Okay, so the seventh one is the mistake in the aspect of health. Most pig farmers wait for their pigs to fall sick before going to inject them with drugs and all those things. No, there is something we call the preventive dose that you need to maintain in your pig farms. That's one of the things I will talk about in the drug aspect of the video that I will make. That is why I'm saying that you should subscribe and turn on the notification button of this video. As in the next videos, I'm going to talk about drug routine as a topic. I'm going to talk about drug routine as a topic. I'm going to talk about housing construction as a topic. I'm going to talk about the market research as a topic. I'm going to talk about feeding aspects completely as a topic. We formulate the formula for our feed production for both the mature pig, the winners, the growers, the piglets. Okay, so this health aspect, you need to have a preventive dose of drugs that you give to these pigs even when they are healthy. This is to enable them to build more resistance to some of these diseases and not waiting for them to fall sick before you start injecting them. Okay, so I'm sure that this video has given you enough knowledge, at least on the mistakes that you would avoid when you see them in your pig farm. So guys, if this video benefited you in so many ways, please make sure you subscribe and equally like this video, and also drop your comments on any mistake or problem that you are encountering in your pig farm. I'm here to answer you. Okay, my WhatsApp group is in the link to my WhatsApp group is in the description box of this channel. So go to it, join the WhatsApp group, as it's a community where you can ask questions and have a one-on-one interaction with me. I'll probably drop the link to this WhatsApp group in the description box of this video, so make sure you join. Okay, goodbye and God bless you so much.